And welcome everybody to the last match of the GEMPC Top 8. As always, I am Darren Tartaglione, also known as DTartag1. We bring into you live coverage of Connor Britton versus Anthony Howard. This is game one. Connor decided to go with Darkside first, and he went with Hunt Down V. So Anthony is going with Communing. It looks like he's going with the Yoda variant. Not really any surprises there. He played it a lot recently. So let's see what's going to happen. Connor going with I Am Your Father. There are many hunting you now, and then Crush the Rebellion V. Batmouse going with Squadron Assignments Walkley and Jedi Business. So I'm bringing to you this live special GEMPC event, or as I like to call it, Star Wars After Dark. Okay, Connors is going to go get a lightsaber with the Visage of the Emperor V. Batmount goes and grabs Aim High. Both grab their grabbers. So let's see what happens in this. This is the first This is the first game in the last match of the GEMPC Top 8. The winner will advance to play Tom Struthers, or Tom Struther, also known as GEMPC Tom. Okay, Connor will activate 4. Batmouse not giving him any icons. Connor not giving Batmouse any icons. So kind of like your classic Hunt Down versus Throne Room battle, except Darkside goes first in this one. And this is the final match in the top 8. We already saw Kieran defeat Joe Olsen, Mike Kessling defeat Greg Shaw, and then Tom defeated Charlie Arlinson as well. Connor using the objective, he pulls out the Malachor Sith Temple Upper Chamber. So I don't think he's going to be able to get a Vader out this turn. There is the docking bay. Kendall says it's the best docking bay in Star Wars. Don't agree with him, but okay. Connor is going to put some pressure onto Batmouse. That is the 4-string +1 sight, and he deploys a Dark Jedi lightsaber onto the 5th brother. So that's some quick and early pressure. Yeah, Star Wars After Dark, late night edition. So let's see what happens here. Connor will have to lose a force to Visage of the Emperor V. Unlike the non-virtual one, you only lose a force at the end of your turn. So Connor losing Vader's lightsaber from his hand. Not the worst card to lose, because you can always lose a force to get it back with I Am Your Father. But let's see if Batmouse has an answer or something to come down with against the 5th brother, or else he's going to most likely take a drain of 3 next turn. So, expecting him to get out some sights, maybe the Camino system as well, being that he is playing Squadron Assignments. And there's the Camino system. Connor plays Imperial Detention to stop Batmouse from getting a free Rey with Leia's Resistance Transport. Batmouse will use 1 force to deploy the Camino birthing, the Clone Birthing Center. Essentially, it is a 2-0, so giving yourself some extra icons. But yeah, these guys are both playing on the West Coast, so, and I think Connor had a fantasy baseball draft earlier today, so they are getting this game in kind of late for us East Coasters. Okay. Connor pulls Coward, and Batmouse just is drawing some cards. So Yeah, it looks like he's going to take that drain of 3. So not only is he taking the drain of 3, but he is going to have to lose a card with Visage of the Emperor. He'll lose a few maneuvers from his hand. We got 5 people watching in GEMP. Batmouse pulling out in battle plan. That way Connor would have to pay for the... At least he would have to pay for the drain here. And Connor will pay to drain for 3. And Batmouse loses Wedge in Red Squadron 1, Qui-Gon Jinn, Serene Jedi, and Hojix. Connor getting out the other Sith Temple site. And I'm imagining he's going to want to attempt to get a Vader out this turn. He's only got 6 Force to work with, though. Batmouse does have 11 cards in his hand. And he's going to do the communing epic event stuff. And there he is, Vader coming down with 6 Force. So Connor will be able to get the saber back out of his lost pile after he loses a card. And he will do that. There goes Search and Destroy from the used pile. So Connor's setting up himself really nicely right now. He did flip his objective. He's established himself a drain of 4 next turn. So things are looking good for Mr. Britton. And being that he is on the 7th side of his objective, as Vader is on the table, he will not have to lose to Visage of the Emperor. I think Batmouse putting the Hojix down a Force indicates that I'm assuming he's got a either an Unita or something to get out Qui-Gon. Okay, R2-D2 in red 5 coming down. There's Luke Skywalker coming down for 2 Force. Imperial Detentions gets around the R2-D2 in red 5's game text. Batmouse pulling out a 2-2 sight as well. And if he can get Qui-Gon out here with Unita, like I said, he wouldn't be in such a bad position, but the bigger issue is he is still staring down a drain of 4 next turn. And there is the Unita, so he is going to take the Qui-Gon Jinn Serene Jedi back into his hand. Let's see what he's going to do now. He still has 6 Force left after deploying Luke and R2-D2 in red 5. Qui-Gon going to the Naboo Theed Palace generator. And looks like Connor will take Vader back into his hand. So even though he does get out some... he did put out Vader. With him taking Vader back into his hand... it is a once per game action, so it looks like he's going to attempt to try and fight against the Qui-Gon Jinn. Batmouse playing I Don't Like Sand as well. He's going to have to stack 2 cards. He stacks a Qui-Gon Jinn Serene Jedi and an R2-D2 in red 5 off the top of his deck. Qui-Gon came down for 5 Force with Jedi Business. So again, Batmouse is all of his characters, starships, everything has immunity to attrition limited to less than 4. He will be able to reduce the attrition by 2, but again, being that he is playing the Yoda communing did get a little bit of a nerf, and it was impacted. So I mean, they changed it so the Qui-Gon's no longer fully immune. Mace doesn't have really good immunity to attrition. So There's a force push from Connor. So he's going to put some cards back into his force pile. And he's going to pull any card he wants out. He is in his control phase. And he did activate 15. So he does decide to pay the 3 to drain here. So it is going to be a drain of 3. There goes a Mace Windows Lightsaber, Padme V, and Menace Fades off the top of Batmouse's decks. That Menace Fades would be really helpful. And there's Vader coming down. Let's see, does Batmouse have a trick? He does. He plays Rebel Barrier. I like this play from Batmouse. It gives him a couple turns here. He can pay to drain for 2. He can retrieve a force. And there's Vader's lightsaber going back onto Vader. Connor has 3 cards in his hand. So while he could do something against the Qui-Gon, I like him better just drawing a couple cards here. And that's the move he's going to take. Saves himself 2 force, showing that he's got possibly a "you are beaten" in his hand. But now that Batmouse has established himself on the ground and in space, he's going to be able to drain. He will not have to pay, and more importantly, he can retrieve cards with Luke Skywalker. Batmouse plays Sorry About the Mess to fire Qui-Gon's lightsaber at Vader. Let's see if Connor has a force field or something to stop this swing. He does not. Batmouse draws a 5 for his first destiny. And draws a 7 for the next one. He will be able to choose which destiny he wants, but I'm assuming he's choosing the 7. That's definitely going to hit Vader, and Vader's going to go to the lost pile. He did already play it, Joe. So on top of losing Vader and the lightsaber, Connor is unfortunately going to be taking drains of 2 and 3 this turn. There goes another Vader to the lost pile. Sniper, Dark Strike, and an Emperor as well. Batmouse puts a card back, or using the Community Epic event to put a card on the bottom that is going to allow him to use Luke Skywalker to retrieve Padme. And there's the drain of 2 at at Camino. There goes the Grand Inquisitor and a force field for Connor. So, big sequence of events. Again, early on in the game, turn 1, Connor came down with the 5th brother and a Dark Jedi lightsaber to the Malachor, the upper walk. I believe that's the upper chamber. And hit Batmouse with a few drains. He is going to utilize Unita, and the force field is going to be placed out of play. Batmouse pulls a card with Walkling. He pays 3 to pull a card with Walkling. Yeah, it looks like he missed on it. And he's going to take Walkling and put it out of play so he can retrieve a card. He will retrieve a Mace Windows lightsaber. And being that he's got the Han Chewie and the Falcon on the top here, I wouldn't hate using the once per game the Yoda retrieval. Okay, no, it doesn't look like he's going to do that. He is going to put an X-Wing cannons on the R2-D2 in Red 5. And looks like he's going to go to his draw phase and just draw a few cards. Connor has 8 cards in hand. Batmouse still drawing cards. He should end up with probably 12, 13, or 14 cards in his hand. But being that now Connor has lost 2 Vaders this game, can only assume that he's playing 1, maybe 2 more. Okay, there goes another ping damage from the Visage of the Emperor. Batmouse loses the Naboo generator core. Connor activates. He should drain here for 3, and he will. He pays the 3 force, initiates the drain, and it is going to be a drain of 3. There goes Fall of the Legend for Batmouse. Rebel Barrier off the top of the deck, and another R2-D2 in red 5. Connor looks at his cards in his reserve deck with his objective. Does not hit on a site. But there's Colonel Jendon in Vader's personal shuttle. I like him coming down there because you know that Batmouse only has Han Chewing the Falcon in the lost pile. Vader hits the table via his castle, and there comes back the Vader's lightsaber from the lost pile after he loses the 7th sister from the used pile. So Connor plays Image of the Dark Lord onto the generator. So that will only be a drain of 2 now. Batmouse does commuting things. Looks at the top card of his lost pile. Puts it down to the bottom. Now he's got Rebel Barrier sitting up on top. Right now, damage is in favor of Connor at this moment. Connor threatening a damage of 2 at the system, 2 at the Vader site, and 3 at the fifth brother's location. Batmouse on the reverse is threatening 4 damage, 2 at Qui-Gon's location and 2 at the system. Batmouse activates. He will retrieve a card with Luke. Let's see what he does first, though. He does initiate a drain at the generator. Adds 1 with Qui-Gon's lightsaber, so Connor will lose a card from hand. He loses 4 more frightening than death, and another 5th brother. Batmouse initiates the drain at Camino. There goes Force Push and Mara Jade with lightsaber. You have to assume that if you're Batmouse, you want to do something with about the 5th brother here. I think that is going to be one of his best options. Batmouse puts the Rebel Barrier to the bottom of his lost pile so he can retrieve a 6 back into his deck. He does pay the 1 for it. He's got 4 cards in his reserve deck here. Batmouse has already lost. Like I said, he already lost a Han Chewing the Falcon, and he already lost a wedge in Red Squadron 1. So the Colonel Jendon sitting very safe up there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Batmouse move the R2-D2 over to Mustafar next turn, or this turn. And Kit Fisto comes down in front of Vader. Vader does have some nice immunity to attrition. Rey coming down in front of the 5th brother. Uses Rey's once she comes down, he's going to pull a card from the used pile. Expecting to see a lightsaber here. Not necessarily sure I like the Kit Fisto in front of Vader without a lightsaber, but we'll see what Batmouse does here. Already on turn 4, seeing some action. 3PO going down to Camino. Again, Batmouse knows what is in his reserve deck. Uses Rey's game text. He takes the bottom card of his force pile into hand. And we have another fight. Rey with Anakin's lightsaber against the fifth brother with Dark Jedi lightsaber. Rey takes a swing at the brother. Draws a 5 for his first destiny. And a 6 for the second one, so that's definitely going to hit the brother. And his forfeit is going to be reduced down to 0. Fifth brother takes a swing at Rey. Draws a 3 for the first destiny. Draws a 4 for the second one. So Rey will be hit on the swing back. The fifth brother's forfeit is 0. Rey cannot be satisfied, cannot be used to satisfy attrition. So this benefits Batmouse right now. Batmouse draws a 7 for Battle Destiny. His total is going to become an 8. That is huge. And Connor draws a 4 for Battle Destiny. Which Batmouse will reduce it by 1. So it does become a 3. However, Connor has the Sith Fury. He's going to take this third sister into hand. His total battle destiny is going to be 4. Connor down by 4 power in the battle. Anthony will have to lose the Rey. He does. And Connor will have to lose the fifth brother and 4 unless he has a Gick in his 5-card hand. We do know that he has a third sister in there. So it really comes down to what the other 4 cards are. And he does have the Gick. Now the real question is, what is that last card in Batmouse's reserve deck? We do know that the Hojix is in his lost pile. And he will simply 3PO the card back. I will agree, yeah, the trade was good there, but now I mean, the Kit Fist is probably going to be safe, yeah, as long as he moves them away. Now he's staring down drains of 2 and 2, so it's not as bad. He still has to lose a card to Visage, and being that he has 2 cards on the Sand effect, I think Batmouse is sitting in a pretty good situation here. So if you are rooting for Team Batmouse, things are looking pretty good. He will move Luke and the R2-D2 in Red 5 over in front of Colonel Jendon. And he will pass over, he will lose a card to Visage of the Emperor, and he will pass turn over to Connor. Connor activates 15. He's going to have 4 force in his reserve deck. Again, he can drain for 2 here. And he will drain for 2 at the Vader's site. Batmouse loses Mace Windu off the top, and he loses quite a mercenary. And we know that Connor does have a third sister in his hand. Outside of that, we do not know what the other 3 cards are. He already has a Dark Jedi lightsaber in the Lost Pile, as well as Mara Jade with lightsaber in the Lost Pile. So again, Kit Fist is looking pretty good. And nope, there's another Mara Jade with lightsaber coming down in front of Kit Fisto. So Connor does have 2. He is playing 2 Mara Jades with lightsabers. Grand Moff Tarkin comes down as well. Connor checking out his destiny. And Connor will initiate. Mara Jade swings her lightsaber at Kid Fisto, but Batmouse has the blaster deflection. Anthony will take a card off the sand effect. He takes Qui-Gon Jinn, Serene Jedi, off the top. Connor draws a 4 for Battle Destiny, bringing his total up to 13. Batmouse wants to see that 7 that he drew last turn. But he has drawn a 4, so he's going to be down by power. He's going to be down by 4 power in this battle. I don't hate him peeling cards here because he is up by a few. And yeah, and he would make Connor make some decisions. Again, Connor did grab Sorry About the Mess early on. And Batmouse will peel some cards. He's going to lose. They're tracking us. R2-D2 and Red 5. Clash of Sabers from his hand. And an Escape Pod, and We're Doomed as well. Batmouse has 3 shields on the table, so he can more than likely pull out his resistance shield next turn. Connor moves Vader over, joining Mara Jade on Malachor. And you definitely want to see that Colonel Jendid run away, which he will, over to Camino. I think Batmouse should start using his Communing Epic Event, start looking for the cards he really wants. But we'll see what happens here. Connor draws some cards, draws up to 6, and then he has to lose to his own Visage. He loses Emperor's Personal Shuttle from his hand. Anthony will activate and use Kit Fisto to draw the top card of his reserve deck. Again, he's going to be draining for 3 this turn as Vader is on the table. And then he will subsequently 3PO the top card of the reserve deck. And utilizing his Communing Epic Event, he will put some cards, he'll do some shuffling around. And we have a drain at the generator core for 2. There goes a Vader's Anger and Emperor's Personal Shuttle from the deck and hand. And there's the drain of 1 at Mustafar. There goes Sith Fury from the top. Life Force counts are 15 for Connor and 16 for Batmouse. This game's really close still, everybody. Luke will retrieve. Batmouse has already used his Walkling retrieval. He has not utilized the Yoda retrieval. He does grab the imbalance combo, but he still has to lose a force here. And he will lose the Bith Shuffle combo off the top that he paid to grab the imbalance combo. Not necessarily sure that was the right grab, though. I mean, Jyn Erso coming down in front of Vader and Mara Jade. Now, what's important is Batmouse can move Kit Fisto away, even if Connor has the Sniper and Dark Strike or a way of getting rid of Jyn. Batmouse can then pull his Ultimatum Shield, so that way the damage would be capped at 2. But right now, Batmouse is not losing any force outside of the Visage of the Emperor. And we do know he is playing a out of commission combo to for just this scenario. Connor will utilize Point Man to put a card into his use pile and take the last card out of his force pile. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to... The rumor on the street is that they might play both games, so we'll see if that happens. Being that it's already 12:15, I really kind of hope not. Connor uses Cold Feet to play There Is No Try. Batmouse saves 3 force and will pass turn over to Connor, and then he will lose a card. Connor has 1 card left in his hand. Batmouse has 8 cards left in his hand. He will then use Luke Skywalker, the Rebellion's Hope, from his hand. Life Force counts are 17 and 1 in hand for Connor. Batmouse with 13 in Life Force, 7 in hand. There's the one card that Connor had. He will play No Escape to take a Sith Fury back into hand. He will then use the lost portion of the Sith Fury to take a character from Lost Pile into hand. Let's see who he grabs. I think the Grand Inquisitor is probably going to be the best one he has in there. But even so, losing the Grand Inquisitor here might not be the best idea. So it's going to be interesting. He has I believe he has 2 Fifth Brothers in there as well. He does decide on the Grand Inquisitor. And the Inquisitor will hop down on front of Kit Fisto. He will attempt to put a card on. He will put a card onto Kit Fisto to attempt to cancel his game text, or make Anthony lose a card, and the game text is going to be canceled. So Batmouse will not lose a force here. But now we have the Grand Inquisitor against Kit Fisto. I don't necessarily hate this battle here for Connor, but I mean, you're just getting rid of Kit Fisto. Draws a 5 for Battle Destiny. It does become a 7. Batmouse draws a 1. The Grand Inquisitor will stick around. But that will make Batmouse lose a force. Tough sequencing and events for Batmouse there. Oh my gosh, so losing the Kit Fisto to the epic event actually negates the force loss. I did not realize that. Joe, did you know that? Because I didn't. Batmouse going to cycle back a Where's Han? Got a few people watching right now. Yeah, anybody in the chat, I did not realize putting the Jedi onto the Communing would actually work that way. Get around the Grand Inquisitor. Vader moves over. I think you move Jyn over. I'm not sure. I mean, she would be easier. Yeah, Batmouse moves Jyn over, blocking the trade where Vader and the Grand Inquisitor are, but then he then moves the Grand Inquisitor over as well. Wow, thank you guys. So the chat does point. So the chat is looking at that because the Jedi doesn't go lost necessarily. Okay, so Connor will lose an Emperor to his Visage Ping, and he is threatening to do 4 points of damage to Batmouse now. Batmouse is going to be doing 4 points of damage to Connor. There goes a lightsaber parry and an Imperial Enforcement from Connor's hand. There's a drain at the Deep Palace Generator. There goes the Third Sister and a Masterful Move combo. Luke will retrieve the Bith Shuffle combo. Okay, as we go into Batmouse's deploy phase, he's got 5 cards left, and there's Mace Windu coming down in front of the Grand Inquisitor and Mara Jade. He'll attempt to pull the lightsaber with Jedi business, and he will do that. Batmouse will initiate a fight with Mace Windu against the Grand Inquisitor and Mara Jade. Interesting. Swings at the Grand Inquisitor. No response from Connor. There's a Jedi's concentration. And a Fall of the Legend. Now, Batmouse is going to take a Drain of 2 next turn. Mara Jade swings at Mace Windu. Batmouse with the Blaster Deflection. As he takes another card off the Sand effect. Batmouse draws a 4 for Battle Destiny, so he's only going to... So right now he just tied Connor here. Connor will draw Destiny as well. Draws a 6, which will become a 7. Batmouse will have to lose Mace Windu. And he will stack Mace onto the Communing Epic event, so he will not have to lose a card to the Grand Inquisitor. However, Connor will have to lose both the Grand Inquisitor and Mara Jade with lightsaber. And Batmouse will end his turn and take some damage with the Visage, as he'll lose Qui-Gon Jinn, Serene Jedi, from his hand. Connor has 1 card in his hand. However, he will be able to drain at Mustafar, and then he can move the Vader over and then start draining for 3. And unless Batmouse has an answer against that Vader, things looks like he's going to take a lot of damage next turn, on Connor's next turn. There goes a Where's Han and a Jedi Levitation from Batmouse's hands to the drain. Connor did activate everything that last turn, or during his activation phase. He'll go into his move phase. There's the move from Vader. And then he will just draw some cards. Then Connor will need to lose a card with Visage of the Emperor. Draws up to 7. And then will lose a card from his Visage. He loses another Imperial Enforcement from his hand. So let's see. Batmouse only has 3 cards left in his hand. Connor with 6. However, right now Connor has 5 cards in his life force to Batmouse's 14. Batmouse drains at the generator for 2. There goes a Far More Frightening Than Death from Connor's hand, as well as a Masterful Move combo. Batmouse drains at Camino for 2. Connor will lose a Dark Time for the Rebellion and a Cold Feet, bringing his life force and hand total to 7. Batmouse retrieves with Luke. Let's see what Batmouse is going to do this turn. Anakin Skywalker comes down in front of Darth Vader. As well as Princess Leia. That's going to be 2 Destiny for Batmouse. And Connor only has 1 card in his reserve deck, so he's not going to be able to swing at either of those characters. Batmouse will initiate. Connor will swing with 1 card left in his reserve deck. And he'll draw a 6. That will hit Leia, and in doing so will make Batmouse lose a card. Batmouse will lose the Padme from his hand. He draws a 4 for Destiny. It becomes a 5 with Anakin. Draws a 7. It's going to become an 8. That's going to be 13, bringing Batmouse's total to 19. Connor has no cards left in his reserve deck. So he will have to lose Vader, and he will have to peel some cards. There goes a 7th sister, 9th sister, and a 3rd sister. Connor has 3 cards left in his life force. Batmouse moves the R2-D2 and Luke over in front of Colonel Jendon. Batmouse has to lose the Visage, and he still has the Yoda retrieval. Yes, yeah, this is pretty much game. Connor activates. He should just draw. Yep, he's going to deploy the first strike. Oh, no, he's going to battle against Luke to cause another point of damage onto Batmouse. It's very smart. He does retrieve. Batmouse loses a blaster deflection from his hand. I think if you're Batmouse, you don't draw Destiny here. So you can still retrieve with Luke. You can still retrieve with Yoda. And then you can drain out. And Batmouse doesn't. Colonel Jendon goes to the lost pile. So Batmouse should win this game if he does it right by 15. See if he remembers about the Yoda retrieval. He activates 10. Retrieves with Luke. Drains for 2. He forgot about Yoda. Batmouse wins game 1 by 14. So we have GG's. And it looks like Batmouse wants to play tomorrow night, so Connor wants to get it over with. Looks like Connor's saying that he's got a busy week. He wants to get this over with. So, and it looks like we're going to have game 2, everybody. What? Star Wars CCG After Dark. So Batmouse is going to grab a water, and then we're going to bring you game 2 here in just a moment. So really quick, just to catch up everybody on what's going on in Star Wars right now, as our players are taking a break. Again, our top 8 is... This is the final match of the top 8. The winner will go and face off against Tom. Kieran will face off against Mike Kessling. So that should be an exciting match. Kieran, our 57th seed, against Mike, our 4th seed. Our 22nd seed is either waiting the 15th seed or the 23rd seed. And then this coming Friday is Nationals. So Nationals up in Minnesota. There's currently 28 players registered. So it looks like it's going to be a fun weekend. I know both these players will be attending, so make sure you guys follow along. All the action starts Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune into the PC channel. I'll be doing commentary with a slew of very good hosts or co-hosts and commentators. I think we're going to have 3 streams going, but please don't quote me on that. Definitely going to be... This is it. This is the last game of the top 8 in the batmouse GEMPC. Will it be Connor Britton coming down from 14, or will it be batmouse advancing to the top 4 in his own event? Batmouse puts up the game in waiting for Connor. So it looks like batmouse has grabbed his water. I got mine. So let's see who wins game 2. So hopefully this game is going to be a quick game. So, because I don't know about everybody else, I gotta go to bed. As batmouse texts me to let me know that he's ready. Okay, here we go. Game 2. Connor versus batmouse. I wish I was retired. We got ROPs versus versus Yodamunning. Oh, not a quick game that I was hoping. So this is going to be a fun one. We got batmouse on ROPs. He starts Imperial Restorer and Secret Plans and Indoor Shield. Connor going with Walkling. I Must Be Allowed to Speak. And Cytor Cal Fast. I'm former military as well, but I got medically discharged. And I like expensive hobbies. Otherwise, I wouldn't be working. Okay, batmouse pulls Admiral Ozzel. And Admiral Piet. Batmouse and Connor both with their grabbers. Batmouse starts with 3 force. Connor has 5. Again, Batmouse took game 1 by 14. So Connor has to win by 15 or more to advance. Batmouse gets out the Executor docking bay. I mean, he's only got 3 cards in his force pile, so it makes sense that it's in there. There's the Spaceport Street. Connor with Goldenrod. And there's the Spaceport Docking Bay from Batmouse's hand. Connor is going to get 7 force to work with next turn. Batmouse going risky. There's Admiral Piet coming down. Going to grab himself an Admiral's Order or a Commander. Let's see who he grabs. There's Commander Desan. Batmouse plays a Dark Time for the Rebellion, so that way he can activate a force. He's going to play the Commander Desan this turn. There we go. Batmouse then pass turn over to Connor. Connor playing I Must Be Allowed to Speak for the Lars Moisture Farm. So it looks like he's going with the Yodamunning that Joe and Team 5 played at Worlds. Joe, I know that you're in the chat. How would you play this game if you're Connor, and how would you play this game if you're Batmouse? Connor grabs the farm with his speak. And he misses the pool. Batmouse takes a look at everything he's got. Yeah, this... Is this Obimunning? It is Obimunning. I'm sorry. Thank you. Connor saying incredible that he does miss the farm, but he will pull Tatooine from his hand. I thought this was Obi. Yeah. I'm sleepy. Sue me. Ray will pull a card from the use pile. Should be able to get a lightsaber as well, putting some pressure onto Batmouse. There's the Lars Moisture Farm from hand. So he does get the farm. He just has to use Ray to pull it. He's got the Mos Eisley. Plays. There's I Can't Believe He's Gone. No lightsaber yet on Ray. And he'll draw some cards. He saves one and will pass turn over to Batmouse. I Can't Believe He's Gone does not work with Ray. He won't be able to add any power. She's not on Tatooine. She's going to be on a Rebel, so you can't really get her back or anything. But the fact that he had to go down with Ray to pull the farm was really bad. At least I think so. Pulls the Emperor's Shuttle and will pull Iriadu as well. He does that without checking. A little bit of risk. No, you cannot use the attrition reduction unless you have Yoda there. Batmouse pulling a sight with the objective. Pulls the... There's the Spaceport Street. And Connor will check out the bottom card, the only card in his force pile here. See if Batmouse is going to do something about the Ray, or... But no, looks like he's going to go to space with the Emperor's Shuttle. Interesting. There's Emperor Palpatine on the Emperor's Shuttle. He has to pay 5 force for both of those. Ozzel coming down as well. Batmouse going to space first. I'm not sure if I like that. Good morning, Timo. Thank you for the subscription. Batmouse will draw and pass turn over to Connor. And just like last game, Batmouse will pull the battle order shield, so that way Connor will have to pay to drain. And Connor, into his activation, he's going to be able to activate. He activates 15. Does communing stuff. And draws the bottom card of his force pile with Ray. Goes into his deploy phase, past his control phase, so no drains. There's the Tatooine Cantina. He's only missing Obi-Wan's hut right now. And Master Luke going down to Ralltiir. Not the card you really want to see for Batmouse. Master Luke grabs his lightsaber. And Han, Chewie, and the Falcon go to Tatooine. Connor will draw to replenish some of the cards in his hand and pass turn over to Batmouse, saving one. Batmouse activates his and then pulls a card with Commander Desan. There's Vader's personal shuttle, non-V. Attempts to pull a sight with the objective. And Batmouse will not be able to flip this turn. Unless he can get rid of Rey or Master Luke. And there's Blizzard 2 going down in front of Rey. So it looks like he is going to be able to get rid of that Rey. With Luke at the docking bay, it's going to be hard for him to move Piet and Desan over. Merrick Steele onto Blizzard 2. With Grand Moff Tarkin, so that's going to be 2 Destiny there. And Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth as well. Connor checks out and sees what the top card of his only card in his force pile is. Batmouse initiates. He should be able to add a Destiny with Tarkin. He does do that. 13-4 in favor of Batmouse. Draws Destiny. It's going to be a 5 for the first one. And a 1 for the second one. That is the Spaceport Street. That's the move for... That's the free one. Batmouse does cancel the 1. Draws a 2 for the second one. So he's going to have 7. So 20-4. Rey covers 7. And he draws a 1. It is going to be, his total battle destiny is going to be a 2, so it's going to be 6-7 in favor of Batmouse. I'm sorry, he does add 1 to it. So it's going to be 7-20. There goes Merrick Steele to the lost pile. Rey goes, and Connor owes 6, but he's got the Hojix. . Batmouse grabs that. I was gonna say I like putting like Morgan Elspeth onto the walker, moving the walker to the docking bay, and then shuttling docking bay transit Piet and Dasan over as well. Put as much power as there as you can. And he's going to attempt to trample Luke. Draws Veers for Destiny. That would have been a great move. I do believe he has to put Elspeth out of the walker. Because she's not a pilot. Correct? To get around Luke. Okay. But Connor will drain for 1. He's got 18 force to work with this turn. This just seems a little risky for Batmouse. He'll lose an Emperor off the top to the drain at Tatooine. Searches for a battleground with Master Kenobi. So let's see what Connor's got in his 7-card hand. He's got 18 force to work with. That's quite a lot. Leia, Rebel Princess, drops down with Luke. Yoda, Master of the Force, as well. There's a draw there, fire. Pulls Anakin's lightsaber out. Puts it on to Luke. And Connor will initiate. He's going to be power 16 to Batmouse's 6. Retrieves Rey. And Batmouse will lose an Imperial Command. Yep, he uses Master Kenobi to add 5 to power. Batmouse adds a destiny to Batmouse adds a battle destiny. Connor draws a 4 for his battle destiny. It's going to become a 5 with the effect, bringing his total up to 21. Batmouse? Yeah. Batmouse is only getting 1 destiny because he forgot to move Tarkin to a pilot slot. Draws a 2 for destiny. And Connor is fully immune. Batmouse owes a lot into battle damage. He owes. So he ends up losing Elspeth, Tarkin, and the Vengeance there. Huge blunder for Connor moves Luke away. Leia moves. Oh, thank you. It's almost 1 a.m. here. I should be in bed. Connor separates the characters and will pass turn over to Anthony. Drains for 1 Iriadu. There goes Strike Force from Connor's hand. Drains for 1 at Ralltiir. Leia will cancel that drain, putting the 5 back on top of the deck. Batmouse attempts to take Trample or Walker Barrage into hand with Blizzard 2, and he is able to do that. The 5th brother goes down in front of Yoda. Min drops down as well. Pulling Batmouse the code clearance shield. The 9th sister comes down. That's a lot of power. The Hojix is grabbed onto Batmouse's grabber. Connor asking for a shield here. Most likely the aim high shield. Yep, Batmouse allows the shield before he goes into his battle phase. And Batmouse will initiate. He will be able to retrieve 1, withdraw their fire. Connor has to lose 1. It's 16-6 in favor of Batmouse at this point. Connor loses Neighbor and leads from his hand. Looks at the top card of his his force pile here. Connor gets a 2nd Destiny. However, with Min, it's going to go out of play, but so he still does get the 2nd Destiny, though. Batmouse draws a 5 for Destiny, bringing him up to 21. They're tracking us from Connor's hand, making it a 4, giving Batmouse a total of 20. Connor draws a 5 for the Destiny, the 1st Destiny. We knew that was there. Making it a 6 with I Can't Believe He's Gone. Draws a 6 for the 2nd one. Huge Destiny from Connor. Batmouse owes 12 in attrition. Connor owes 2 in battle damage. He loses Yoda, Master of the Force. Interesting. Batmouse will have to clear the site. All 3 of those characters go to the lost pile. Batmouse will Docking Bay Transit over. I think it's because he's down by 14 and he wants to keep as much force as he has. The other thing is he could have another Yoda in his hand. Batmouse document transits both Piet and Dasan, making sure that one is a pilot and one is not. And he'll draw some cards, passing turn over to Connor. Connor will drain for 3 next turn, 1 at Tatooine and 2 at Ralltiir. He's got 3 cards in his hand, so it's not a lot. Batmouse sitting at 9 cards in hand. Life Force count 24 for Batmouse, 34 for Connor. Connor activates. The Return of the Jedi V is when you add, it's a lost interrupt. Okay, there's a drain of 2 at Ralltiir. There goes Blizzard Scout 1 and a battle deployment. Drain of 1 at Tatooine. There goes Dark Time for the Rebellion off the top. This is not Yoda commuting. This is Obi-Wan commuting. There's Leia's Resistance Transport to go get Rey. Rey on the transport gets a card for Connor. Yeah, this is Obi-Wan commuting. And there's Leia's blaster rifle coming down. No, he drew a Run Luke Run last turn. No, he moves the Leia transport up to Ralltiir, putting on a lot more damage onto Batmouse. Yeah, him not stacking the Yoda means he can't use... him stacking the Yoda will turn off Return of the Jedi V. Yep. Yeah. It has to be the set 16 to subtract. Or Yoda has to be there. Which if you run the Dagobah Yoda, then you could subtract too. Batmouse initiates a drain at Iriadu. Connor with a 12-card hand after he loses. I can't believe he's gone. And there is the sand effect for Batmouse. And he stacks Colonel David John and the Emperor onto it. Batmouse still has 4 cards in his reserve deck. So let's see what he's going to do here this turn. He's going to put down Darth Vader with lightsaber in front of Luke and Leia. Batmouse getting a little risky here. And he'll initiate against Luke and Leia. Hopefully he's got the gick. He didn't want to put a 5 on top. Connor loses another neighbor and leads. Vader swings at Leia. Draws a 4 for the first Destiny. Draws a 1 for the second Destiny. Connor, with their tracking us to make it 0. Leia will not be hit. Luke will not be hit. Luke takes a swing at Vader. Drawing a 3 and a 5, hitting Vader. Things are not looking good for Mr. Batmouse, especially, I mean, after that well-played first game. Connor adds 5 to the power. Batmouse draws a 3, and I don't believe that cracks Leia's immunity. He will switch a card from his lost pile with a card in hand. Grabbing Elspeth back. Connor draws a 0 for Battle Destiny. However, I can't believe he's gone. We'll add 1. So it will be 14-9 in favor of Connor. Luke and Leia are immune, and Batmouse owns 5. And there's the gick for Batmouse. Connor will grab the gick. And that battle will be over. Yeah, things are not looking good if you're a Team Batmouse here. Connor's threatening drains of 1, 2, and 1. He'll move the Blizzard 2 over in front of Luke and Leia. Connor uses the wrong ability of See Round Kid, so it looks like he's going to attempt to revert here. I mean, it's in the move phase, so... Yeah, Connor, it's in the move phase. So he still blocks that drain there. I mean, it's possible Batmouse has a 6 on top of his deck and is able to get rid of Luke. But, I mean, with Piet and Desan there, he's not going to get any Destiny. And he is going to attempt to trample Luke. Drawing a 6! As Master Luke goes to the lost pile. I kind of don't like him doing it there. Like, I get that you're tracking the 6 and you know it's there, but now Connor can just come down with Master Luke again. I mean, it doesn't really save Batmouse. Like... You can move the Emperor shuttle. Well, yeah, you have to move the Emperor shuttle over to block the drain there. But oof, Batmouse he's in a really rough position right now. Connor has 9 cards in hand, activating 18. So the likelihood of him having another Master Luke is pretty big here. Connor plays the Bith Shuffle combo to shuffle up Batmouse's use pile as Batmouse is continuing to draw cards. So he just played the Bith Shuffle. Yeah, not anymore, but it would have kept the 6 on top. Batmouse plays Cold Feet to play a shield. There's the Come Here, You Big Coward. If he's got a second trample here, that's insane. Being that he played the Coward, has a 6 on top. If he's got the second trample here, that is insane. Loses Imperial Decree. And Imperial Command off the top. Yeah. But I'm saying, even if he has another trample, getting rid of Leia would be pretty good. There goes, and he'll lose the trample to the Drain at Tatooine. Yep. Lando coming down in front of Blizzard 2. Batmouse with a Imperial Barrier. He just lost the trample. And there's Master Luke. Things are not looking good for Batmouse now. There's Luke's lightsaber from the Lost Pile. Captain Hera Syndulla coming down, joining the fun. 18-8 in front of Connor. In favor of Connor. Connor initiates. Batmouse will lose one. Connor will retrieve one. Yep, 17-8 in front of in favor of Connor. Batmouse will take a card off of the Sand Effect. He takes Colonel David John. So now Connor is only getting one Destiny. And he can't add to the Destiny. Connor pulls his Don't Do That Again shield, so that way he can check out what's in his deck. See, Piet and Dasan, not that much in forfeit, but I mean, I think if you're Batmouse, you have to swap. Draws a 3, so it's going to be 20-8 in front of in favor of Connor. So Batmouse will not. Oh, he does get the Destiny, but it's going to be 0. So he can still swap here, and he will swap. And still he's down by 12. There goes Commander Dasan. There goes Admiral Piet leaving the Blizzard 2. Yep. That's what I was thinking. He can activate the 12 trample and then activate as much as he wants more after he plays the trample in the activation phase. And he'll trample Lando. Unfortunately, he draws a 3. Lando's A's a 3. Batmouse is not getting the Destiny he needs. Life Force counts 24 for Connor. 17 for Batmouse. I like the play there because you can activate down to the trample, pull it in the control phase, and then get rid of Luke. If you're tracking correctly. Yeah, he's misplaying it now. Oh, I see what you're saying now, Joe. You're right. Okay, throws down Blizzard 4 over to Moss Isolate. Pulls Tarkin. Yeah, he's going to be eating drains of 2, 1, and 2 next turn. Yeah, he needs... Biggest thing is he needs another ship. Okay, Veers hops onto the Blizzard 2. Yeah. Moves the Blizzard 1 away. Or the Blizzard 2 away. I mean, like you said, he's draining for 5. Right now, he just needs to do as much damage as he possibly can. Even though Connor has committed Luke, Lando, Leia, and Hera there, that's a lot of characters, like you were saying. I mean, that is Anthony Michael Howard for you. Connor drains for 2 at Ralltiir. Batmouse will have to lose 2 here. Loses Ceasefire and Cold Feet. Drain for 2 at Ralltiir. There goes an Emperor and Surface Defense. I think you got to tell him about that, Joe, after this game. Drains for 1 at Tatooine. Loses Colonel David John. Batmouse, 15 cards, hand in life. Connor, sitting at 30, hand in life. I will say Batmouse did put Connor on Rescue the Princess or No Idea. So he did not put him on Obi-Wan Communing at all. So good ops on Moneyball to get Connor sped up on this deck. Connor, in his deploy phase, looking with Master Kenobi, misses. Batmouse checks out the Destiny numbers as well as what's in Connor's deck. And Connor will move some characters around, including Leia. Probably going to move Luke as well. Yep. And he'll draw some cards. Putting back Return of the Jedi as he takes Tatooine Obi-Wan's hut into hand. The TV's on a swivel mount. Plus, I'm hoping to only be here till August. Batmouse activates everything but 2. Drains for 1 at Iriadu. There goes that Obi-Wan's hut. He's going to be able to drain for 2 at Mos Eisley. Connor sitting 16 cards in Life Force. There goes a Tatooine Celebration from his hand, as well as a Luke Bionic hand. Batmouse attempts to take Trample from his deck. It is in there. Batmouse goes out of his deploy phase into his battle phase. Nope, he goes back into his deploy phase. Rethinking his turn. Vader's personal shuttle deploys to Iriadu. I like this because now he can move the Emperor's shuttle over to block the drain at Ralltiir. Yeah, like, he was able to get rid of the fact that he came down with a lot in front of Rey, but Connor had the Hojix. And I think that with Batmouse grabbing the Hojix there kind of hurt him. There was no, I mean, that really hurt. Yeah, it's Ozzel with Palpatine on the shuttle. He is going to attempt to trample Hera here. Interesting. Draws a 4. That's the card that Batmouse should have grabbed. They're tracking us, and that will miss the trample. Wow. Connor's going to attempt to retrieve the Luke's Bionic hand here, putting a 7 on top of his deck. That 7, which I'm assuming he's going to track around to, will crack the immunity of the Blizzards too. Yeah, Connor is really shining tonight. Like, game 1 was just a slogfest. Like, Batmouse really played well, but this game has shown that Connor... There's a reason why Connor's in the top 8. And just as a reminder, everyone who is watching, this coming Saturday will be Nationals up from Minnesota. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Friday night, instead of so this Tuesday, we will not be airing Hollow Theater. Hollow Theater will be coming live from Minnesota on Friday. Watch out on Twitter, Slack, and the forums for the times. Connor will drain for 3. 2 at Luke's location. There goes Sane Isard, and a Dark Time for the Rebellion. 1 at Tatooine. Batmouse loses after her. He loves that card. Jin comes down And Connor will initiate. He is getting 3 Battle Destiny here. He'll retrieve Tatooine Celebration. Batmouse is going to have to lose a card. He'll lose Day-Long Remembered V from his hand. And there's the run, Luke, run! Adding 5 power. Batmouse's Destiny's gonna be 0. And I'm almost certain that's a 7 on top of the reserve deck. As the Gick is on the grabber. Batmouse with the GG, the thanks for the match. And that's going to be about it, everybody. So congratulations to Connor for advancing and coming back from game 1. Checking up on our bracket really quick. So Connor Britton will advance to face off against Tom Struther. So we are at our final 4. Perfect timing for March Madness. Kieran versus Kessling. Connor versus Tom. So until next time, everybody, again, like I said, make sure you guys tune in on Friday for Hollow Theater, Saturday for all your Nationals coverage, Sunday for the top 8. That's all I got tonight. I'm going to bed. It's 1:22 out here. I'm very tired. So I will see all you guys later on. Stay tuned to the forums and Twitch and Slack and Twitter for our final 4 games. Until then, have a good evening, good night, good morning, and may the Force be with you.